if this is it, let's go
Be
ahead.
good, be good, I have you up on the, I'm bringing you up on the screen here.
Oh, you get to
Oh,
watch
God.
us? Wait. Everybody stick out their tongue.
Yeah, I was gonna stick my tongue out. Okay,
You got it right.
everybody ready?
Ready?
Okay, we'll go ahead and call our Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for December 5th to order. And we'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Our one visitor, I don't know whether anybody else come up. I hope Gloria, you want to call her?
I don't have Gloria's number.
I do.
Okay.
Sometimes we
Yeah.
forget.
Yes. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and see about that, but we'll go ahead and look at the minutes for 10/3/19. Are there any corrections or additions that anybody would like to make to our minutes from the previous meeting I've read over? I couldn't find any myself, but
This is Willie, I'm good.
okay, Willie.
I
Anybody
second.
I
else?
was good with it.
Yep.
Okay, then do I hear a motion that we approve the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion by Kelly, seconded
Carol.
by Carol. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you, I think we got you.
Delay in there.
Barbara's little eye.
Yeah.
is in.
And here's Gloria. Okay,
I
Gloria.
just texted you, sweetie. We miss you, I said.
Okay, moving on with our agenda, monthly recreation center report for October and November.
Cool.
And if you all will take a minute and look at that and see, but I'll ask Sean to kind of go over the highlights at this time, if you don't mind. October and November, let's start with October.
Sure. Nothing extremely notable. We do have our Emerald Outback Facebook page is now live, so we're excited about that. Trying to get some more information about the trails, just when it's open, closed. People hopefully will start posting their own photos and videos of it, and just kind of have a little fun with it as well. In November, the one note I would
Can I
point
ask
out-
you something about that? I hadn't looked at the website lately. Is there a, access from our regular website to that?
There's not one of those. I guess we probably could put a button or, follow us on.
It might be good just to add that to it.
Well, one of the things I want to do is kind of do some stickers and start putting those on the sign saying, follow us on Facebook and have the little email logo.
Good.
Kind of branding with it, but
Okay, well, add that to the deal so people
Sean,
might.
add something on that. We were looking, a couple months ago, we just hadn't finalized it yet. We're trying to get all the different kind of web pages on one page. Like you've got a police department, you've got fire department, you've got rec, and like that, it'd be all in one spot, and we just have pages on one website instead of 4 different websites. So we're trying to see about doing that.
But that's gonna be linked to the regular town website too.
Well, it would be one, it'd basically be one website.
Beach Round, down to Beach
And you
Round.
have a rec section,
Got it.
a police section, and a fire section, and like that, you have everything in one spot, but it wouldn't be linking anywhere else, it'd just be one website. So
Okay.
we're talking about that.
So you
Okay.
have somebody, working on it, or?
We have somebody, and, the prices, it came out about the time of the election and everything else, and so we just kind of put it on hold for a little bit. I mean, there's money in the budget, but I kind of want to maybe talk about a little bit of retreat for council,
Okay.
before we proceed with it.
Let me ask you, as far as that's concerned, so many people are used to going to our recreation website. Would that be a negative thing for our recreation deal?
I don't think so. We could have a temporary link for so many months maybe and let that page stay live
Okay,
until it dies a
right,
good death.
okay.
Yeah.
And then, but eventually have it all in one place because we have multiple complaints now. I mean, we're posting here and there and everywhere. And if we had one website and you could just scroll down.
Well, I can understand that, yeah.
So that's what happened. The old website
Plus
would probably
expensive
be
too.
either 3 months or 6 months and then they would just disappear.
You can
Right.
also do redirects,
Yeah.
and, and then just put in the search words, the old website, and then
Correct.
that'll bring it up in the searches and.
Okay.
Just like Ski Beach forever.
Correct, Correct.
And
Okay.
then,
I still put in ski pants.
I do too, and it still takes me to Beach Mountain Resort.
Really old.
Okay, Sean, carry on.
yeah, in November, the one thing I would point out for holiday market, we had 750 customers to this.
Nice job.
So,
Best one ever.
Kate did a great job with it. We had Shelby Ray Moore playing, and if you made it down there, there's a really large arbor made out of rhododendron. Sean McNay made that, and
Gorgeous.
it was really cool. So people, we were over in the tennis court this year, not just basketball like we have in years past. I think we were right at 38, 39 vendors. So it was normal.
What's normal? I mean,
Normal. Last year we had 33 vendors and I think 450 people.
Nice.
Wow.
Kate said people have already signed up for next year.
Yeah,
The
she was
vendors,
going
they're
around and getting
booking
best
in
all the
already.
vendors are signed up.
again,
Well, I know Bernie was down
The weather
there
helped.
working on things, and he talked about all the comments from the vendors and how they were happy, and everybody
Yeah.
seemed to have had a good time, and how
Gloria's working.
just about everybody walked out with something in their hand. So Gloria, thank you. And,
It's my
no, it
vacation
was a great event. Way to go.
Yeah, it was good. Also, I sent out some photos, I believe, a couple weeks ago, but the Lower Pond Boardwalk is now completed.
Yeah,
The
that's
trails
nice.
are
Looks
redone.
good.
Yeah,
That looks
It's
good.
great.
So, yeah.
it looks like, not Rough Ridge, what's the one below, Shiprock, where you go off Shiprock and down, there's a flat.
Oh, yeah.
Plank like that on the
Yeah.
mountain sea trail is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
It looks just like it.
If you get a chance to get out there, definitely go. It's kind of a little cantilever section that goes out over the water so you can see.
You got
all
a
the
viewing
different
platform there.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's really cool. So,
Good job.
so that's open. The new snow gun is up and running. We were open by Thanksgiving weekend, and we have also hired, and he has now started our third full-time member with our outdoor crew. So Ethan started.
Well,
last
tell
week.
him a little bit about him and his background, because he's an interesting guy and
Yeah. So
worked at Grandfather, right?
yes, he came to us from Grandfather. Oddly enough, he went to my high school, so we've talked about that. But comes to us from Grandfather. He's worked on their trail maintenance crew, so he's got a lot of experience doing some work that our guys do not have. So I think it's going to be a really good benefit. He's a big guy, strong guy, so we're excited to get him in. And yeah, so hopefully you'll meet him if you haven't. But we'll bring him around. Brought him by Fred's last week.
Yeah,
and
I met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
Anybody have any questions they'd like to ask in regard to the reports for October and November? You ladies
No.
happy with things?
No.
Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear Sean all right?
I can hear Sean and I'm watching him on TV.
Okay.
That's a good time.
You don't have to read lips then, right?
I have one question.
Right.
Okay.
How
tell me.
expensive is it to get one of those height counters to put on Lower Pond Creek to show the $38,000 or move one so that we can come back and look at the investment made
Yep.
to the number of people that's hiking it?
The trail counters are about $600, and there's one on Lower Pond Creek already.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It'd be really good on the next meeting to start getting counts on
Yeah,
that. So then that way we can justify the money that was spent on the boardwalk,
yeah,
in case people ask.
yeah. And actually, kind of the plan was one to go back to the state and show them, say, hey, last year we counted X amount of hikers, but with your help and funding, now we're getting this amount.
Perfect. Yeah,
'Cause
that'd be awesome.
I think after a lot of people hike it, they're going to say, why didn't you do this on more sections of the trail?
Right.
Because there's still hard sections on the trail, but
Right.
that was just the worst one. and
We all
had a lot of
noticed,
issues with
you
it,
know,
so.
on the outdoor report, it shows how many Emerald Outback Trail people went. Can you add that one to
To that.
that in that section there? That'd be great. And, you know, that could possibly be something you moved around as needed if we had questions about other trails and
Yes.
usage and,
So I've got three of them.
So cool.
There's one on Emerald Outback, one on Lower Pond, and then we have one that we're moving around. We had it stationed on Upper Pond Creek, but that one we can kind of move a little bit, so.
okay, well, just for general information, that was a pretty popular, the Upper Pond Creek, wasn't it, about the best trail around?
Yeah, it.
You know, I see
it's
so
a
many
lot.
people parking and going up and around to the overlook thing all the time. I mean, it's amazing
Yeah.
how many cars you see
It's true.
down there.
PARTF, Perry Park.
Yeah,
They seem to go up a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Around.
yeah.
Hawthorne there, I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
see a lot of cars, that's
Mhm.
one of my loops on the bike a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even in, I mean, there's always, like Wednesday or something, there'll be two cars there on Hawthorne Road going down Gracie Gap, you know, and I thought that trail can get better. I think that's the
Yeah.
one we can highlight next time, because that's a really, kind of an unknown
It's,
trail. It's very private and
Yeah.
waterfalls and.
You're talking about also replacing one of the two
Bridge.
bridges down at the bottom. Y'all
Yes.
are aware of
Remember
that.
we did that one year?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
telling you about how your guys and us and
yeah.
Still
Public
working.
Works and
That was-
carried
that was
telephone
cool,
poles in
man.
there
It
and,
worked, it worked.
yeah.
But I mean, that's one, that's a
Last one.
very, that trail we ought to really
Yeah.
promote next year. That's
And-
such a pretty.
Yeah, summertime, I mean, you come by the rec center late evening, you'll always
Mhm.
see a car there with a tailgate pad or
Yeah.
a bike tray, something.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bikers are riding it now, so.
I'm talking to
It's
guys, like if you go to the bike shops, they'll go, man, you ever been out on? I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's like they
Yeah.
just found it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh yeah.
well, if you go, headquarters, when they do their group rides, a lot of times up on the
They-
board, they'll say the big beach ride, which is inward Outback, out the parkway down, or down Grassy Gap to the rec center.
And they
That's
bust
what
it down.
everybody's
Yeah.
calling Big Beach, so it's
Oh,
it's
that's
cool
nice. That's
that
nice.
they're
It's
all
always
there.
been my favorite part,
It-
hike.
it-
One of
it's-
my favorite
Oh,
hikes.
it's great.
It's
It's
a
great, yeah.
kind of, unrecognized trail.
Of course, Wild Iris is always good. That's where I send
I love that.
beginners
That's
there. I
my-
mean, people at the golf course come up and go, hey, Gloria, there's a family here who wants to go on a hike. I'm like, wow, send them there first and then they can go from there. You know, I mean, that's always a fun one to do. is
Well,
Okay,
there's-
Sean's
there's
doing
good
the,
parking at
walls, and
those.
It's good parking and it's nice and you've got the obstacles.
Mhm.
I've gone through there before on the bike and seen kids playing on them, you know, I mean, it's just, that's another nice one, so. Those trails are really,
Sean did an update
Cleaned
on
up.
trails, if you didn't
Yeah.
notice,
really good.
last couple of weeks ago. And, he also did, this was prior to the opening of the sledding hill, but he put out something on that. So he has those two reports that he does periodically, the sledding hill. I don't know how often you're gonna do that. Once you get going, do you do it weekly?
The sled hill
Sled
report.
hill, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send it out before this weekend, so probably
Yeah.
today, tomorrow.
Well, no, I'm just saying that, but then the hiking trail thing, it might be good information if you did it, well, in the summertime, probably more often, but in the wintertime, as things happen. Now, as far as trails, tell them, you know, we still have the problem there coming off, Greenbrier by the lake that they dredged out, and he's waiting for Mike Akers to come, and if anybody has Mike Akers on their agenda,
That lake's gonna get a whole lot bigger, I'm told. It's coming all the way out to the street. They own all that property and they
Yeah.
wanna make the big, it's triple the size of it.
Only way
they're gonna need to.
It'll look good.
It will look better.
Yeah.
I think it'll look nice.
You think that's what he's waiting on?
No, I
No.
think Mike is,
No, we're being held up, when they were down working a little
Yeah.
bit there, then they came up to start the streetscape, so.
Right, right.
The last word we got was, a week ago. Bill emailed us and said, when we're done up here, we'll call you back, so.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question real quick, just to put it in your thought process, and, cause we use the same water stuff, working around a lot on the dredging of the pond and stuff. When they get that done next year, which is our goal is this spring, could we, you know, you got Coffee Lake Loop, could we do it? Do you think we could talk to Resort and do a loop around there? And
But
have
another
and
trail.
have you can have a figure eight, you'd have Coffee Lake,
Yeah.
and then Santa's Lake, which you already have Palm Creek Trail.
right?
And that would just be something, another walking trail, and it's flat right down by Greenbrier. I mean, it would be just like that loop.
Well, they already have the road they built in for this
Yeah, you got,
past
and
project.
you got there, there's always a parking issue at Coffee Lake, which I think could be addressed in the near future.
But then you can go
too.
down to the bottom of the
And
park.
but you could park down at the bottom. That area's really gotten better, and your trail maintenance has gotten so much better this year. It's like, I mean, every time you go on a trail, it's clean. It's like the guys have been there with the new guy, I'm sure that's even gonna get even better.
Yeah, I hope so. So are you proposing that the resort would put in the trail?
No, I'm just
or
saying,
us
would
go
they
in?
be, I mean, we have easements, that would be, you know, a Tim question there, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would talk to the resort while they're building it, just bench in there at the road.
Yeah.
It just went on, I mean, just a suggestion. I don't know what the plan is, the design, I haven't
The
seen it.
road would
but
help
I've
them
talked
out
to-
too when they have to dredge and other things
Exactly,
too.
and
The
you could
road would help
access it.
them.
Yeah, you could access, that just would be a nice little added, you know, something they could do, if that's possible to do. I mean, that's such a pretty area through
I
there.
love it.
There's a lot of rhododendron you could meander through.
Okay,
To that up here.
let's move on, sounds good. What else, Sean?
That was it for the reports. Next thing, I'm gonna let Marisa speak here. And
Okay, Marisa?
Okay, so I've been talking with someone through the North Carolina Arboretum about a program called EcoXplore, and I'll pass out these, y'all take one and pass them around. I made a little, just a handout just on all the basic information with some graphics. But basically it's a way to give kids something to do that's like self-led. So similar to how we sign out canoes and fishing poles is something that they can do with their family. This is something that if they have a phone or if they have a tablet, if they have their parents' phone or something, they can do this program. So basically, I'm working with Libby, who's in charge of all this, to become a hotspot for this program. And basically, it's to
I
get
like it.
kids out on the trails, bring kids from Boone area out here, because I was talking to her on the phone and she said that there's a whole community in Boone because the library in Boone is a hotspot. So it comes up on their map and it just means that there's biodiversity around there. And basically these kids are taking pictures of trees, plants, animals, insects, uploading them onto their website, and they get points for the quality of their pictures because it's a citizen science program that helps people identify different animals and plant species. So this is them, you know, kind of working with that citizen science program. And for the pictures that they upload, they get points, and those points they can earn prizes. So there's a lot of incentive behind it to get kids outside and in nature and identifying species. So because Boone Library is a hotspot, that's like one of the only, if you look on the map, that's like one of, you know, it's all concentrated in Boone. And Libby was saying that they're trying to get more in the high country. So they put out like an all-call email, and I actually was talking to them at the conference I went to in September. And I was on the phone with her and I was telling her everything we have, and she was like, that sounds amazing, let's put 2 hotspots there. So she actually wants to put 2 hotspots, which basically just will put us on the map. And with that, we can also sign up for like our outdoor programs. We can also advertise them on the NC Arboretum's website and partner and say that it's part of the EcoXplore program, because they go through different, it's almost like semesters, where like right now they're on entomology, so they're focusing on bugs. You know, next in the spring, maybe they'll do flowers or wildflowers or plants or something, but they have different things that they focus on throughout the year that we could tap into with our outdoor programs to help get our information out there and get more people to our outdoor programs and get more people to Buckeye. And that's really the goal for us, and it's also to give families something to do when they're out on the trails. Kind of gives kids more to do. If they, you know, if they can grab their mom's phone and take pictures of critters and know that they can upload them for points, and they get an extra point if they upload them from a hotspot. So they could just, you know, they take pictures while they're in there, they just come into Buckeye and they can use our Wi-Fi and upload it on there. Or when they go home, it should, you know, be able to geolocate from the picture on the phone, and they can upload it there too. But if y'all flip on the back side, it's an example that Libby sent me of the signs that they want to put out. So we're thinking of doing 2. We want to do one at Buckeye Lake, and then one at the Falls trailhead right there. Because with the trailhead, you've got all the birds and insects and everything that fly around in the baseball field, and then you've also got all the plants and everything right at the trailhead, the rhododendron and the trees, so it's a pretty good spot. And then with the lake, you've got, you know, obviously you've got the lake, so you've got all the critters that come along with that. And then a lot of woods surrounding Buckeye Lake, which is really nice. But yeah, so it'll look like this, but instead of obviously that Lake Tomahawk, it'll say Buckeye Lake or Falls Trail. And she said that they're working on getting those in, and she'll let me know when they've got them done, and you know, we'll go from there.
Okay, so we're basically signed up for it,
Mhm.
and it's just work in progress.
Yep, yeah, so it's basically, it's a free program that we can tap into, and it's just a pretty good way of getting kids out there. And I was talking with Sean about trying to find more self-led programming, because we have outdoor programs, but our staff isn't big enough to have an outdoor program once a week in the summer, because we're all running around doing all kinds of things, so I figured this would be a way to open that door to this self-led programming. That way, when there's families up here, they've got, you know, something more to do on the trail. Kids won't get as bored just hiking around. They've got stuff that they can, like a mission, you know, if you will. Something to get
Is there
like a
a
goal.
way to put more signage, like up here at, you know,
I was thinking.
the visitor center? You're
Yeah.
having a nice sign, you know, make sure you check this out, even a banner at the very beginning of summer or 4th of July,
Yeah.
to get these people to understand. It's like the Junior Ranger program. I
Yeah.
do it all the time when I take my grands anywhere.
Yeah, it's very similar. I can talk to Libby about putting in, see if she has like flyers or anything that we could put up, and just say like, check out Buckeye Rec Center, it's a hot spot, like something like that,
Definitely.
to point them down there.
Mhm.
I think that's a really good
We
idea.
put
And then also partnering with the
newsletters,
Boone one.
Yeah,
The hand
Even in the
Partnering.
ear, the Buckeye,
Yeah.
the ear, you know, the beach,
Mhm.
that, anything
One
we
of
can
the
do to
things
keep it
that you
out
could
there.
do to
I think
promote
this
it
is
better
great.
than anything would be,
my
get
thing.
permission and go to some of the schools around and let them know, because I'm sure they'd be willing to, you could start with Mount Elk and then you could go on over to whatever in Avery County and hit those, or Valley Cruises too, for that matter.
yeah.
But, you know, that'd be a matter of you going out and kind of pushing it and so forth. Maybe you can do that during the winter.
Another question on this, are we limited to the hot spots, or could we pick like another trail, like put one at Perry Park, and then they could go either way?
Yeah, so I can talk with her about that. Right now, we're gonna do the two and see where that gets us, and just make sure that people are visiting and posting from there.
Okay.
And then I think that will determine if we could go further with it. But, I mean, she was really excited. I told her about all the trails that we have on the mountain and all the biodiversity, like, because we go from such a drastic elevation, we go from 3,000 feet at Buckeye to, you know, 5,000, over 5,000 feet at the very top of Beach Mountain, that there is so much biodiversity because of the elevation change.
Right.
And so she had never heard of Beach Mountain, she'd never been out here before. She's not from North Carolina, so she didn't know a lot about it. And she's like, what, just sounds awesome, like, let's give you two and we'll see where that goes. And so I think she would be very open
Perfect.
to adding more in the future, for sure.
I think the top would be great. up
Yeah.
there. I mean,
Just hit two sides of the mountain that way.
you see kids up there too, and it's because a lot of people are afraid of hiking Emerald. They don't know what to expect. If you had that, they would do it without even thinking.
Exactly.
Good
It'd
point.
be a learning experience as well for
And
the
then-
parents.
Plants up there are one of a kind
Totally.
compared to anywhere else in the high country.
They
Like, you
come
can
out-
only find
they
a lot of
come
those
out early.
elevations.
They come out early, you get a lot of sun
Yeah.
up there with
Oh,
the leaves
yeah.
off. It's amazing in the springtime. That's the first color I think I see on
Yeah.
Beach Mountain is up there.
Yeah, the
It's
wildflowers are
interesting,
very,
really. I mean, I have no clue what it is, but it's beautiful. It really is.
No clue what
This
it's
might help me.
Now you'll
I'm
know
like
what it
Carol,
is.
I'm like,
He's gonna take this thing and go,
Carol and I are gonna go do a hike.
I always say, what is that?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
And it's embarrassing in my line of work when someone asks me a question about a plant, I'm like, I don't know what you're
well, if
talking
you're
about.
interested,
I
there
need to learn
is,
that.
basically like a partnership with this EcoXplore program. They actually will, so like people who work for, iNaturalist is an app that you can download on your phone. They actually go in and verify these pictures and everything and the identifications that these children are uploading, and they add it to their database as well. So that's why the kids get higher points for better quality photos and better IDs. So, you know, scientists are actually using their information, which is really cool. But there's an app called iNaturalist. It's more geared towards adults. But that's what I have, and it'll help you identify stuff. So it'll geolocate where you
So you
found
can take
it.
a picture of it.
And you can take a picture and be like, I have no idea what this is. And someone will come in and be like, that's a trillium, or that's a gray-cheeked salamander. You know, they'll help you, and then you have to get like 3 or 4 verifications, and then it's identified. It's considered identified.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so that's a way that
Wow.
you, if you're interested, and it works without Wi-Fi or signal or anything too, so.
Something that just came to me when Roy mentioned the fact that he sees things around. Let's for this summer work toward a program, and I don't know who would be the person, in the past, we had two ladies up here that got into wildflowers and plants and everything. One of them was Marge Bailey, and she's left now. She was kind of the one that knew it all. And then we always had Charlie Burleson, and he was really good because he'd been a biology teacher, and if Charlie didn't know the name of it, he'd make up one. But he was good on, he did a leaf identification deal and would take people around. And then we had another lady, Rosalie Vince, that did things a long, long time ago. But I was just thinking, maybe we could do a program, Plants and Flowers of Beach Mountain, and present it as a deal down there. And I don't know if you could find somebody volunteer-wise that, you know, had pictures and was really, really good at it, and get them to kind of develop that. Does anybody have an idea of
Well, you
who's
have
a
that,
wildflower expert? You?
We have, so when we did the volunteer trail guide program this past May.
You went over that with
yeah.
them?
Yeah, we did all plants, animals,
Yeah.
history.
Well, I just think, you know, we're
So
a
I've got
unique
this
place, and if you got something, we could do a program, you know, we could do it once each month, and for the various people here, the flowers, wildflowers change as we go along, but I think that would be real popular.
I think it's a great idea, and that would be part of
Yeah.
the non-athletic that was in that
That's right.
survey.
Right.
That's right,
You
we need to
know,
do more
trying-
of that.
And another thing with the
You all-
plants,
Oh, okay, hang on.
I'm sorry.
Barbara, go ahead.
Alice Russell, who lives on
But she,
Upper Grouse Ridge, or she's a botany teacher.
yeah, but she's never around much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was around all last summer because she volunteered at the museum quite a bit.
Okay, well, that's good, because I knew
She's
she was
just a
off
contact.
traveling the world for a few years.
We
But-
could
Yeah, she
include
was.
the garden club.
But Alice would be perfect, wouldn't it?
I was just gonna say the
And
garden
the
club.
garden
Garden club
club.
ladies, I work with
Yeah,
those
okay.
girls a lot, and it's amazing.
They know what
They're
they
not
know.
all about shrubs. I mean, one of them over here is an expert in 2 plants.
Okay, well, anyhow, we got
It's
the,
pretty cool.
we got the seed planted, and that's something we ought to work on.
Yeah.
And
We were
insects
actually-
with those plants are neat too. Some plants harbor certain insects. We use 2 beneficials on the golf course, the entomology department at ASU, that have actually killed some bugs that we fight, and we don't have to use plant treatments. We use a beneficial insect, like the adelgid that, you know, that we had on the hemlock.
That's
has been
interesting.
saved. So that's kind of neat. So a lot of these plants harbor those insects. So when you have more of that plant, you have more of the beneficial insects that help, you know, the environment also.
Okay, Marissa, you got anything else you want to talk about on this program you're doing?
Hopefully it'll develop into, I really want to get, some, like nature backpacks, like kind of a checkout system where it's like a small backpack and it's got like a microscope and this and that, like maybe a temperature gauge and just stuff for kids to take out on the trail with them, and gives them a little something to do and kind of their own self-led science thing. So I was talking to someone at the Arboretum about that as well, and it could be, we could link it to this EcoXplore program, but that's.
And you could put together some kind of little deal in there that would ask them to find and check off, and then present it back to you so you knew
Yeah, like a
that.
scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
But
Well, that's
it
just,
for me.
and just like the junior rangers, you know, you get a little badge at the
Yeah.
end, you know, this is what you accomplished.
Right.
We can give them a sticker.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go,
good.
well, there's nothing wrong with that.
One of the
Yeah.
best
I
stickers
think
on
it's
this
a great
mountain is
idea.
the
Make some
Land of
more of that.
Oz. You see it everywhere.
Right.
For the back of their car or
I'll
their bike.
add just a little bit to this program that Marissa's brought up. We've been looking, I've got a quote already. The property right across from your store, Fred, that the town recently
Yeah.
purchased, about actually doing a small hiking trail in there, down the road.
The
obviously.
handicap accessible.
And so with that trail though, I was talking to Marissa about it, this is a couple months ago, but is it Lake Hickory or Lake James?
It's
There's
the James State Park.
there's a, kind
Yeah,
of explain
Discovery.
that.
It's
Is it
called
a-
a Discovery Trail.
Yeah. Can you explain more of that?
Yeah, it's an interactive trail. They actually got a grant to create, and they've gotten an award through, like, for like the best kid-friendly trail or something in North Carolina. I forget what the award was, but it's basically they walk through and there's different items and things for them to, you know, hit or play with or look at that has to do with the nature that's around them. And it's just an interactive trail, so we were throwing back ideas about trying to do something that's interactive that would engage families and, you know, kids and adults into the trail that they're on, in like kind of tricking them almost into learning about the mountain, you know, in an interactive way.
Yeah, so we're looking still at that trail. I think we will move on it. I'm not
Okay,
sure
now
when.
tell me, you've already had somebody come in and give you a quote?
Yeah, so we've got a quote on it.
Is it it
Mike
isn't
Thomas.
paved, is it?
No.
Yeah, we were talking at one time needing it to be handicapped.
Yes,
accessible.
so basically I asked if we could do it as a crushed gravel, to where a wheelchair could go, and yes, you can, more money, or, kind of do the same way as what Mike built with Oz Forest, but he, looking at making the trail, I think 6 feet wide, it's still compacting the dirt, cause once you get deep enough, that dirt compacts really well, so, that's what we're looking at, that's a lot
Sounds
less
good.
expensive, that's more around, I think $9,000 to $10,000.
Keep working on it.
And all of that would kind of tie in with building a playground by the Bart Park as well. So when that starts to go on within the trail, and so as Kelly said a minute ago, building more stuff up here, not just down. So we're trying to get this entire mountain covered by the rec park.
Family
How
trail.
much more for the gravel? I mean, this just makes sense to do.
Roy will pay for the asphalt if you,
You will?
right, Roy?
Could you do my driveway?
Didn't you get a raise?
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to do
They
asphalt.
get a better price
No.
on asphalt than any of us do.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd have to look back.
I mean, I just like the handicap thing. I just think
Yeah.
when you go to a trail, I've been on trails all my life, and the more people you put on it, I mean, you just gotta have it.
Well, quick sidelight,
Pushing a baby stroller is the same thing.
yeah, that
You
baby
just see,
stroller
it's just
thing.
amazing to see how cool strollers are these days compared to our days. You know, I mean, they're made to do that.
You
I
could
think
run in
that-
them when we were kids, but
Exactly, I mean,
the
when
wheels fell off.
when you do it, you gotta, I mean, I think we ought to do it 6 feet and make it accessible
Yeah.
for everything.
It might have been wider.
Yeah,
I can't.
or
remember
whatever the
specs.
width you need
Six
to do.
6 feet's plenty for a
Yeah.
stroller and
Yeah.
mom and dad side by side holding hands.
And I'm like,
So-
Kelly,
and you can get a
do it up
UTV
here,
then
you
in
know,
there
show
to check, clean it up and do what you have
Well,
to
luckily,
do.
since it's right there, I mean, it's so close. Now again, the idea is that's where the new safety building will be down the road. So when we build it, we're trying to stay on that kind of outside perimeter of the woods. Maybe have a couple cut throughs; those would be gone. But
Right.
if we do it right on the outside, we'll hopefully be able to keep that portion, even if we have to like pave over one for a driveway later on. But
Well, you could use
that's
part
how
of
we're
the
trying to build it.
Greenway paved part as part of it for the front part,
Yeah,
and then
Absolutely.
shoot around the
Yeah,
back.
do that big
So
hole- hole
it's some
thing.
more ideas. And,
Great.
Okay,
That's a
sounds
great
good.
idea.
Why don't you go ahead and hit number 4, the PARTF grant?
So this one, not as fancy, but, so here's what's going on with the Shane Park. We're moving, we've met with the engineers. They are working on getting the contractual concepts together. And then we'll look to, Tim's hoping by February we'll have something that we can sit out to bidders to actually start the work. And then hopefully we'll be breaking ground in April. The water plant, or sorry, not the water plant, the water feature is going to start a lot earlier, in my understanding. So in this next cycle for our PARTF application, we're going to just kind of change up what we're asking for. Instead of all the things with the bathrooms, parking, we're going to just focus on recreation aspects. So really, I'm just kind of, these are just samples of some ideas that we kind of came up with as when we were meeting with the engineers. So we're looking at doing sort of a bouldering climbing wall, not a ropes course, or sorry, not a ropes climbing wall. So this is something kids can still do without really supervision around. You cover mulch on the bottom. Kind of the one in the middle is really pretty neat. I sent some pictures to Mike Fischescher with Beanstalk, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we do these all the time." So I'm waiting to get some ideas from him and quotes as well. This one is quite a bit of a stretch, but we're going to look at it just to see if it's possible. But a floating walkway, this has been discussed actually for many years down there. We've also talked about the fishing pier. So it might morph into more of, instead of the walkway, we might look at doing a large fishing pier, but have maybe a couple legs going out into the water. So that would be the walkway. So it would be more focused as a pier rather than just a full walkway across the lake. And if you're on the boat dock looking directly across the lake, that little knoll that comes out, that's where we would be putting that fishing pier, because it would tie into the trail that is right next to Shane Park.
I'd hate to see it take away from the kayaking and canoeing, because it's already a tight place
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go, you know, there's only so many places.
It wouldn't
to
take
walk
away
there.
too much. It's not going
Well,
to be
going
that
around it's
massive.
fine, but if it went straight across the lake,
Oh, no,
you'd have to,
right.
couldn't go underneath it.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
that
It would
it wasn't
block
going to
off.
do. I know that was where that was a bad
Okay.
picture, but no, we weren't going to divide the lake.
Okay, good.
Yeah. This, if we had done the whole walkway, it's going to just skirt the side, but we have a trail there, so
Right.
we don't need that.
Right.
But we do need a fishing pier.
I like that.
Then this is just kind of give you some ideas of what one of our premium tent sites would be. It's going to be a wooden platform with the handrails around it, and down at the park there's a few little spots that actually look right over the creek. So we're looking at building these platforms where they would kind of come out over the bank, and so you could actually be right over the
How
top of the
cool
water.
is that?
And so that's why we'll call them those the
I
premium
might
tent
see an
sites.
tent for that.
Who wants to
Go
talk?
ahead.
Never
Said to
happened.
get a garage, you'll get
Hang on
Yeah.
a minute. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just looking at the next picture.
Oh, okay.
Campsites. You need a bear-proof food thing like they have at Lake James.
Yes.
You're moving on, huh?
Well, it's on my screen.
How big are those platforms, like 20 square?
I mean,
Looks like 2 tents, I mean, that's
Yeah, but that's
yeah,
pretty
I
good.
was thinking 10 by 10.
I think it's 12 by 12.
12 by 12.
14, it's not.
So we had 5, we have to go with 5?
Right now for land sites, we're cleaning out 5 different spots.
Okay.
These would sort of
Those
be,
are extra.
this would be something
Oh,
extra.
wow.
Yes, because these will cost more money than just cleaning a.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
this is all put in the grant.
This is gonna be on
what we're-
this
This is
grant
our
cycle.
wish list for, okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So you come through the trail, you have the 5 that's planned, then you would come out to the overlook or the
Yeah,
knoll,
and
and that
then-
would be, wow.
Yeah, and if you have any questions or kind of want to see where we're talking about putting these, you know, I'll be glad to show you and take you down there and walk you around. I can even show you where we're cleaning out areas already for tent sites.
Sean Kelly said something about the grant. We were trying to do these with the existing funds, I think we had on these first 5, right?
She's talked about.
We're going to try to get as far as we can. I
Yeah,
think,
Okay.
so that's not, if we apply for the grant, I think, you know, there's a few we're gonna do with the existing monies that have been authorized.
Okay.
And even though we're applying for the grant, I just wanna make sure you didn't get confused with that, so.
The best thing is we do not have to redo our entire grant. That's what I was afraid of, since we're asking something different. But instead, we've been recommended to say, call this phase 2, since they know we're going to go ahead and start. So this is phase 2 of the Shane Park, and that's what we'll be looking at. So
Could we raise the funds for the, I know you gotta do engineering and all that with town stuff, could we do the 2 of those maybe and just have, like, build it as a volunteer labor, you know, like have work day. We did the playground at Cannon Hospital years ago, remember that? And it was neat, we would just get groups of 10. Like today, you guys work from 8 to 3, tomorrow, and we just lined up and then people, like Art would
We had
support
talked
that.
about doing
We did
that.
an imagination station.
We don't have an Eagle Scout yet, we could do an Eagle Scout project for
There
one of
you go.
those. But we could do Mountain Alliance is another group that, I don't know if Sean and I talked, Lee McCray does some projects up here, but Mountain Alliance, I'm starting to talk with them a lot more, and they have high schoolers who come up here, and they would do a building project like that. I mean, we supply the materials. and
Right.
they do the labor.
That's really, I hate not to see at least 2 of those put in this
Yeah.
year.
Agree.
I mean,
Like
that's an
it would be
attractive.
really cool. And actually with the low ropes course,
Get Robbie
one of the things that Mike Fishesher mentioned to us was, he works with a nonprofit organization and doing exactly what Tim was saying. He'd bring in high school students, well, not all high school, but, and then also some of his staff, to where we buy the materials, and of course, we would be out there working as well, but then you're talking about a project that's 75 grand down to 25 or 30 grand, all because of labor. And he's like, and all you do is a small donation to our nonprofit, done. So there's a lot of other avenues to look at other than just.
On level campsites,
Yeah,
like Carol all of a sudden goes, no, I like camping on this.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I mean, I'm not being.
It's true,
funny,
if
I'm
it was
just
wood and
serious.
not dirt, I
I
might
mean,
think of
when you go
it.
camping, you spend time looking, I mean, even if there's a man-made, self-contained place, but nicer campgrounds, when you
Right.
pull in there and it's level, anybody that pulls a motor home, Barbara will agree with this,
I like to go there because I can pull in, pull out. I mean, it's just easy access, which encourages camping. Or someone that hasn't been, you take your grandkids down there for one night, save a whole lot of time to do that. You know, I'm just saying that's something
Yeah.
that would be nice on all of us.
This is what they want right there.
Yes. And
This is
so,
meant for what people call car camping.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly, there you go, yeah.
You
Pull
get stuff
in,
out, you set your stuff
Yeah.
up, and then you can go back and forth to the car as many times as you
yeah,
want.
and you can go home the next day.
Kyle has the tent that pops off the back of his truck.
oh, yeah.
I mean, he is just so cool. Bed's in the truck and the rest is outside.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to us about this.
So again, these are all just examples, but the lower ups course that we
Call me.
have looked
Call
at,
me back in a few minutes.
I've kind of drawn out the area for Mike, and so I'm waiting to hear back from him about actually what it would cost and him to do the design work. But it'd be something similar to this, to where from tree to tree there'd be a different apparatus, different ropes course, obstacle, and then you would end, and there'd be kind of a little tree house. Whether it's an actual tree house or just a little stage or platform. Then there was one cluster of trees that were thinking it'd be cool to actually build a tree house and a slide coming off of it down into just the leaves. So again, it's just, I think it's something really neat and it'd be a lot of fun. It's just rather unique. They've only got one other course similar to what
Have you been down
we've
to
talked
this
about.
deal in Morganton to see?
I've not been to the one in Morganton. I've heard a bunch
Okay.
about it.
I've been there.
Okay.
It's really cool.
It is.
Well, with
I've been
volun-
there, it's cool.
With volunteer laborers, do they supervise the company, I mean, with safety and all that? I mean,
Mike-
when you build, Mike
Yeah,
would be
so
there, he would
it
be
would
on
still be
site.
some of his staff
Okay.
working with those. Yeah.
We just
so,
would help.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could also, if we look out, we could get Kiwanis, Kiwanis did the one day last year when they came up here and did the bark park fence and all of that. It's a one day program to do over April. They did the same thing with the Banner Elk Park a couple of years ago. They had two representatives who were putting playground equipment out there for Nancy and Rick. They had two company representatives there, but then like third
When
volunteers.
you do it, yeah, okay.
Yeah, for some of those, we might have to change to Kiwanis weekend.
Yeah, volunteers.
It'd be some work, but
Okay, well, Sean,
yes.
you know, the fact that you're resubmitting and you're changing, but you don't have to change all of the part of the grant.
Correct.
We just, need to make sure that all that, it seems like there would be chance for misunderstanding on their part, so, that's gotta be
Mhm.
up to you to kinda,
Right, so
As
I
you
don't
write
just
it
submit
up.
this willy-nilly. I do send this to Judy and have her read over it, get her
Yeah.
recommendations.
Judy's the representative, the lady and asked for the can and looked over it, she's the go-between, between the part of grant and
Yes.
Sean.
So I actually saw Judy, I think 2 weeks ago at a little meeting at App, and I was telling Tim this. She did tell us if it had not been for the earmark projects down east, we would have gotten funded this past year. So
So hopeful for next year.
she was really bummed out for us, and
Maybe it'll come this way.
exactly, yeah. But she's like, I saw what you scored, and she's like, you guys should have been funded, but something else happened. So I was glad to hear it, and also not glad to hear that part. But at least I know.
we hope
we
there's
looked at
still
it.
a chance.
Yes, I think there's still a chance. So we will. Right now, just waiting on the numbers. I've got to show how much things would cost to get
Is-
for it.
Do we have a professional grant writer writing this, or
Sean is.
Me.
Sean is? I mean, that may be
Yeah.
something to think
Yeah.
about too,
And
to
we have
really
talked about
kind of polish it
Yeah.
off for
We-
this
We've
last time.
consulted with other people before. on
We've
grants and
talked
stuff,
to
yeah.
the High Country Council of Government because they do this stuff, and kind of it's the same thing. They can read over it, give us some notes or pointers. But yeah, so far it's just been us writing.
Okay.
The trail builders, when we did EMO, the trail builder guys helped us because they're involved with grants and they know they get the money to build it, so they knew how things are worded and where it goes, so we sought out a lot of good
Sure.
support for doing that.
Just to
Okay.
give you an idea about how much that costs, the COG can do it pretty, well, basically at least expensive. The COG price on doing the grant is between $5,000 and $10,000. If you get a professional company to do it, it's $30,000.
Wow, okay.
I mean, not saying you couldn't do it, I just want you to give you an idea.
Watch out, don't get too many ideas, Sean's gonna wanna.
Yeah, really different job.
Start writing grants.
I think that's my new job.
You can pay for the garage.
In this particular deal, though, Sean will tell you
Garage is an office.
that his relationship, like with this lady Judy, and some other things, this PARTF deal is a little different than trying to go out and do a big grant somewhere or whatever. It's kind of more hands-on with, you know, what we plan and all this, and I think Sean's fully capable of doing, and it looks like we've, after 2 years of being turned down, we ought to be able to know what to do, and he does, so I think, you know, I think we're on the right deal. I'm not sure that we need a grant writer in this particular thing. I'm
If
sure
y'all
we
ever see Sean's box, when he gets prepared, he needs to bring that one meeting and show you all the different steps.
Yeah.
It's, I think last year,
You
it was
stepped
right
through a lot
around
of
300
hoops.
pages.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because, and now it's not all written pages, a lot of this was surveys that we've had done, but all this has to be in it, minutes, from meetings, and it's a big
big
thing,
process.
but,
Yeah.
yeah, it's mostly the time consuming of getting everything together.
Well, they wanna make
Right.
sure you have a
Yeah,
stake in this, so.
Yeah. So yeah, that's,
Okay.
what I have
Good.
for what we're looking at this year.
okay.
That was basically it.
Marissa, thanks for doing your thing. I think that's a great idea, so
Good
as we
job.
go along,
That was great.
Please follow
That's really
through.
cool.
make sure we
That's
do what we need to on our end.
I love
And
it.
your backpack idea is really good.
Project.
And, okay, Sean, anything else?
Yes, sir. So we'll just kind of get to speak out. Again, this is my, I'll just say, this is just suggestions. This is, I was going off of some items that we had in our capital last year, looking down the road, so don't think that I'm actually saying that we have to do all these things, and some of them are needed more than others. But just a heads up, council retreat is January 23rd. I think 9 a.m. is when the recreation department's going to be here to meet with the council and Tim, to kind of present just some different budget items for the next year. So one of the items that we are carrying over for the next 3 years, we're going to finish off doing the benches and picnic tables across the mountain. So that was $12,000 a year. So we've done this year's portion, and we had 3 more years allotted for that, and then the whole mountain will be fixed. We are going to need a replacement vehicle a little bit sooner than later. This was actually in our budget for about, I think, another 2 years down the road, but we had something break recently on it, and so we're going to have to look at that a little bit sooner than we had originally planned. Also, we have talked about the gym and tennis AC unit. And again, these are just things that were in the capital list. It's not saying this is what we're going after this year.
On that topic, is there any, as an alternative, looking at big fans to keep that air moving in there instead of HVAC?
So there are fans in there, and that's
Right.
where we've gone to. The fans aren't doing anything. They're exhaust fans pulling air up. In the summertime, even though we have ran this, it wasn't really doing anything because then people want the windows open, so you're just sucking air in
It's
and out.
constant fighting, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I thought just big, huge fans would be working better.
Talked about doing a warming hut and sled shack. I'm going to look about maybe a TDA grant,
You
sorry.
missed UTV.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And yeah, our Polaris, again, these are in no order, so just take it with a grain of salt. But also, I want you guys to, as the committee, start thinking about if you think of anything that we might need. Or if you would like to, I think we talked about this last year, if you would like to prioritize which you think needs to happen first. For instance, splash pad, that was in like a 3-4 year, and again, we can always push things back, but if we needed to do one thing over the other sooner than later, your all's advice.
Yes, sir. Tim, this is a question probably for you. Replacing of the Jeep, does that come out of that department, or is that an overall replacement of vehicles?
No, it comes out,
It
it
is
comes out of the general fund charged to that department. One thing we're gonna talk to council about this year, that I didn't do it last year because I didn't think council was ready for it last year. Talked with a couple of council members about it. But we have an enterprise fleet coming that first day too, to talk about getting all our vehicles on the fleet maintenance system through, now that would include your garbage trucks, your fire trucks, big trucks, so include all your 3/4 tons. But my long explanation is that if you get to a point and you're doing that through enterprise, all your vehicles are changed out every 4 years.
I'll say 3 years, okay.
For a certain cost.
Yeah.
And you pay this, you start out a little bit slow, then you get to a level point, and you pay that every year. But then your vehicle, all you're doing is changing tires,
Brakes,
Brakes,
basic stuff.
basic stuff, and you got your
Right.
vehicle fleet. So reason, I just use that as
That's
an
a great
opportunity to
idea.
say what we're gonna be looking at.
Right.
But if council doesn't like that, then we'll stick with our same routine replacement, but,
That Liberty's been around a while, G quit making them a long time ago.
Right.
We're
It's got
the
its-
third department with it.
Oh,
One
so
thing
it's got
this
its
year-
miles out of it, yeah.
one thing this year is gonna be a big thing in the budget, is gonna be the debt service for the new public works building. So, like I said, some of these things, you know, if you got like 2 or 3 that's your priority, it would be nice to let Sean know, so we're trying to make sure they stay in the 2021 budget. Some things may get pushed out to 22, 23, 24, up to 27, because I think we show it, don't show it about 10 years out.
Okay, we can go down right now
Sean, you need to
and
call
give Sean some ideas. You know, your Jeep
Sean do it.
sounds to be the most
Uh,
important item, and then the, of course, the air conditioning deal for the gym, and then, going on, I think bear-proof trash cans is pretty important.
Well, Tim, is
It's
that,
$1,000 per can. Okay, how many places do you think you need them right now?
That's what,
All over the world.
I don't have a good
Yeah,
answer for you.
trail.
We did 4 cans this year. We did a double can at the pavilion.
4 cans next year?
We could do 4.
So
I think this year
if
we hit some big spots.
If your main 2 priorities are the Jeep and HVAC, that's pretty good ambition right there.
Right.
That's 175,000, and plus you still have to think in there, we've got some Shane Park expenditures that will be in the budget too, is not reflected here.
and Tim, on the HVAC, is there a way to fund that and not spend through town? I mean, how do y'all do a big expense when it comes to, is that like you write a check for 150, or can you,
Finances it?
yeah, can you do 50 a year for, I mean, how's that done? I know,
Well, what I recommend is, on that, I would probably recommend the council just take out a reserve and budget fund balance.
And just
for it,
knock it
because
out.
It's a one-time big capital expense,
oh, okay.
so that's what I would recommend if y'all really want to do that.
Maybe we could go to the TDA and ask them for $25,000 for 4 years,
You could.
or something. I don't know what their
That's
deal
always-
is exactly.
TDA said they're almost maxed out now between Shane Park and Streetscape, they're
Oh,
pledged to.
Okay, I didn't know about the
And
streetscape.
then they also have a project they want to do sometime, they want to expand the TDA building or do something, as well. So, that's
Okay,
but if that's your top 2, that'd be great to know.
I don't know. I'm the one that spoke out on that.
We can handle that in operational, that's not that.
Right, that's,
Yeah.
And if you know somebody who wants to donate, now, we had 2 trash bins donated at the rec center when we get the program started off.
We had 2,
We
yeah.
also-
okay.
We also had, one at town hall donated, the triple one was donated.
And the bar park was donated, wasn't it?
The bar park was donated, now, it was a kind of different donation, the other 3, were like cash donations from private individuals. The one at the bar park, the guy who's been selling a lot of garbage containers up here, the metal ones, he donated that, it's kind of like to help town out also as a visual
As a-
representation of his
exactly.
product. But that was, you're right, that was donated too, and put in at no charge to the town.
Okay, the other one that I look at up there that, according to Sean, wouldn't be that expensive is the ADA hiking trail that would be
Yeah, that's
That's
got,
across.
that's
And
gotta be.
I think that,
I think
that would be a good,
Absolutely.
you know, the things we need to
Visual.
think about, yeah, right, that
Right.
people would see and recognize
Mhm.
that don't cost a whole lot, so.
So tell about what we're talking about, putting
Yes.
the ADA up there.
Yes. And I will say also that TDA, they have basically said every year they're going to give us at least 2,000 or 2,500 for trail maintenance, whether it's up to our choice of how we use
Yeah,
that.
you
So, I
wanna
mean, that's
use-
some money towards it right there.
You
So-
might have a good year where you don't have a lot of rain, you don't have a lot of erosion, you could put it on a new trail or something. and
Okay,
it'll work out great.
What else do you have? We'll go around.
That was it. I can send this list out to everybody also just to,
Okay.
so you have a little bit of time to.
You ladies
So
understand
why
what
don't
we're
you do
talking
your
about?
Prioritizing first, cause you're
Yes,
the
we
expert,
do.
you know what needs to be
Yeah.
done.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, Sean, when you send out this list, we have 150,000 budgeted for Shane Park this year, but the council, you know, the old council, authorized the whole expense of the 385.
yeah.
So that leaves 235. So next year's operational budget, unless this council makes a change, we're gonna show 235 in expenditures after July 1. So keep that in mind too. So I would probably put Shane Park on here too, at 235,
Okay.
knowing that that's coming out. So
That's true.
unless it changes. I
O-
mean,
Okay, when you say 235, the council authorized 200,000, and then through donations, we've collected 100, okay.
185, so total
Okay.
385.
Okay, everybody understand that?
And we
Yes.
think August positive, we'll have 150 of that spent before July 1, because we signed up, engineering and stuff on that, and then we'll bid it out, and we hope to go to construction on the bathrooms and parking lot. I hate to even give a date, but I'm hoping by May or June we go to construction on that, so that they'll spend some of this year for that. Maybe even April.
The Coffee Lake building, is that the maintenance building?
Yes, that was one, we did look at this past year, and again, it's in there just, we like to have things on a capital list to show that we're working towards something.
Keep
I
working
thought
on it.
we were working on that already. That
We-
was-
We were, I would recommend still putting that off about 3 to 5 years. I think the expense is not ready, and council has some discussions on that, and
Too bad we couldn't work it in with that building and get the same builders and.
that was staff's idea one time, trying to do that, it didn't quite pan out.
Okay, Carol, you're on.
On Halloween, the night we had Halloween, the lighting out in the back parking lot there was lack of, there was none.
Okay, he's gonna tell you about that
Okay.
right now.
Go for it.
Um,
It was a
It was
tough one.
Halloween, it's supposed to be dark and scary.
It was, but the old ladies, oh, did I say that? I'm one of them, but walking out there was difficult.
in the parking lot.
Yes, into the back, now I'm not talking the parking lot, I'm talking about the baseball field where they
Oh,
were
okay,
parking
that-
out there.
I can't address.
Okay,
We're not
well,
gonna have lights
on
out
top
there.
of the tennis, courts there's one, and that wasn't on.
Yep.
And then if we could put one at the other end, that would be suffice, that's all.
Shoot something out there.
Just shoot something out there, giving them enough light, and it was misty, it was just dangerous. I just don't want anybody falling and hurting themselves,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Well, he's working on getting,
Parking lot
he can't
lights.
get the guy to come, so
Yeah, we're having some.
if you're an electrician, go down and help.
We understand that.
Come on in.
I know one that'll work for nothing.
Or so.
Okay. Get, Roy?
I get this question all the time, it's the same question always. EMO update as far as the future lease.
Yes, actually I had a really good conversation with Paige a few weeks ago, and he said he wants to get together in January and start discussing.
Sweet, okay, good deal.
So we'll keep our fingers crossed and say a little prayer. Okay, anything else with you?
Yes, sir.
Really nice to meet
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm gonna recuse myself from this just because I'm gonna be on council. So I'd rather you guys make the decisions and then come back to me rather than putting in.
You'll make the big decisions, right?
Show me the money.
There you go.
Okay, in other words, what she's saying, she's resigning
As of
from
today.
this committee, which means we'll have to consider appointing somebody. And I think we need to, between now and our January meeting, which will be shortly prior to the town council January meeting, if they want to, recommend or they want to appoint somebody then. But, I've had several, not even knowing about her deal officially until now. We hadn't really put a lot of thought into it, but there've been several people thinking ahead, suggestions. So anyhow, let's get all our stuff and think about it for our January meeting, okay?
And what's the deadline for the applications?
I think
In
December.
December?
That's what I thought.
Actually, I think, and we got some already to choose from, she sent out some already.
Yeah.
So I'll find out, but I think it's the end of December, because that will be on the count. Typically in the past, when I first got here, council, the very first year I was here, they actually did it in December. Last year, they actually, put it off until January.
We got a little new deal this time.
And this year, this year we're scheduled for January 2, but we're trying to advertise for people who want to participate and also, get it to council.
Well, gosh, we don't have a January meeting, John.
No.
Okay.
Unless we need to.
Can we?
Why don't we do a workshop at Buckeye like we do every year? We always meet in the lobby. and
If
just-
you guys have some names of somebody you'd like to, see.
Well, in the past, the committee has, put up several names. And I think we'd like to do that again this year, wouldn't we?
So you want to do a workshop in January?
Well, we have in the past, about every year we meet.
Kinda go around the
They're
building.
unofficial, and just go over,
Yeah.
and then we decide,
Needs
it's
and
a
wants.
good time of year to do it.
Okay, well, let's do it the same
After the
first
holidays.
Thursday.
First Thursday. Okay.
Would that be all right with everybody, first Thursday in
First
January?
Thursday is the holiday
We
week
just meet
still.
down there?
It'll be
Sure.
the
I'll be
January
on.
2nd.
That'd be
Okay,
awesome.
okay. So it'll be
I wanna make it
January
the
what?
next one.
I was just gonna say,
Make it the next
January
one.
2nd isn't gonna work.
Yeah, that's
not gonna
That's a
work.
holiday.
Yeah, but, you know, think
Wanna
about
do-
this.
How about January 9th?
We wanna do it before the town council
Yeah,
meeting.
that's what I was
And the
just gonna
town
ask.
council meeting is gonna be when?
14th.
January 10th, let's see.
Oh.
No, January 7th, right? First
No,
Tuesday?
no,
It's the second,
Oh, so you're right. So if you do the
January-
9th, you
January
can,
14th.
so we could do the 9th.
That's,
The 2nd is just too close to holiday if you're
Yeah.
away.
And everybody has.
Okay.
Okay, what about January 9th? Is everybody
That
in
sounds
agreement
good.
on that? Ladies,
Yeah,
far
yeah.
away, do you all agree on that?
Yes.
January 9th, let's say it, 8:30 at Buckeye, is that all right? Okay,
Yes.
thank y'all.
That's closer for me.
And,
Yes, that's right.
okay,
No, on Thursday, usually not.
I think it's me. The only thing I would say with the air conditioning is, are we gonna get all the windows fixed? Because half of them, not half, but several of the windows don't even close all the way. We can't get them closed.
We shut them
don't
the other
stay
day,
closed.
and the only reason they're really tough is, I mean, you've seen the poles that we shut them with.
Yeah,
We just can't get the leverage. The other way is just get a scissor lift in there. But Jared and I went through them the other day, and I think we got them pretty
Closed?
shut.
okay.
Occasionally, you think they're shut, and then the wind blows it, which we just gotta go back to it. But yeah, that pole's 25 feet long, and it's big round as my
Oh, I've
finger,
worked
so
with
it's
it, yeah. I mean,
it's kinda
not me,
hard
but
to get
somebody
that
taller
leverage.
has tried to do it.
They're
Yeah.
not
And
easy.
the other thing is the lights in the gyms, some of them are out. So
Mhm.
who replaces those?
We do, and again, scissor lift would be the way to do it.
Okay.
I think we're about 5, 6 lights out.
I know there are three where we play pickleball.
I think there's 3 on the other side too.
That's it.
We found that before. I don't even wanna
get back there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay, Rory and I just remembered that last meeting or meeting before, we talked about working on our sign for Buckeye that he had proposed putting one there at the intersection,
Yes.
and
We'll get one mocked up for next
Yeah.
meeting.
okay.
Good
One of the
idea.
questions,
No,
Fred, I think you and I
right there.
talked about is that being in that middle is it is it a distraction, or could cars see around it? I guess.
Making that turn.
Yeah,
if they're
yeah, we
coming out
got
of Pine
the
Ridge.
placement of it's
Make
gonna
it
be
higher.
real important.
Just make it higher.
There was some talk, 'cause I was on the banner committee, which is 3 years-ish, I think. We did resort, the club, the town. I know ones was ripping and flying in the wind. There was talk this coming up season to replace those. And remember, we were talking about the sign, that came up last meeting or two.
What original kind of plan on some of the banners is to not do banners again and go like, our street signs down at the bottom beside where they're at.
At the same
At
location.
the same location, so we're kind of playing around that, but there's been no final plan on that. But now, I'm not sure the intersection we're all talking about putting that stuff.
Pine Ridge and.
Where the road forks.
So we could back up, there's a sign there on the corner on the left that has all the signs.
Yeah.
We could possibly, that would be nice to redo that sign and
Yeah,
make
but
it more,
remember-
because that's a big, you could put Emerald Mountain Outback, Beach Mountain Club, Buckeye Rec, and so forth, and Shane Park now that it's down there. I think I think we need to address that altogether. That would
But-
be a good
but-
location.
The whole purpose of doing that sign there at the intersection was to direct them to Buckeye Rec Center
And I'd like it
and
too.
up the hill to the club, or to the
To the
club,
Emerald Mountain.
well,
all
to the
that.
club and Emerald
Yeah.
Mountain. There were 3 things that we took on that, so think about that, Roy, just go out there,
I'll go ahead and do it.
Study-
Come out with some graphics.
study the intersections.
There's
We'll look at it, right?
Yeah, yeah, we
Mhm.
did.
Oh, yeah.
You have it on the shirt you got.
Beautiful.
If we could
All right.
do
It's like a patch.
layout like,
Yeah.
we could
I think we'll do
But we can't get
I'll
too,
take some.
well, you know, Shane's part of,
All 3.
okay,
All right.
anyhow, let him work on that.
Okay, so,
But you gotta make sure
Still have
there's a
a light on
safe
it.
place to put it,
It needs to
Rory.
be, it
Has
needs
to
to be
be
lighted.
the
Safe
sign
place.
that you want, what agencies do you want on?
We need the club,
Buckeye Rec
Shane
Center.
Park, and then how about
EMO,
EMO
going the other way.
Yeah,
going the other way?
But it has
So
to have
there'll
a
be
light.
4, and we would like, it'd be
there's,
nice to
there's
light
power
it.
right there.
Be nice to light it.
Okay.
We get free power off the street
But
light.
I tell you that right there, I mean, people stop right there all the time and just, they don't.
But go out there and figure out what's gonna be safe.
Yeah. So I don't know if you put it in that middle, I don't know who to
It's
ask.
hard to see back if you're in a
Judge
larger
that.
I
vehicle.
think you need to talk to the police if you put it in the middle,
Yeah,
because it could be it's already a bad turn.
yeah.
I agree with, this is Willie, and I agree we need to redo that signage because, I know a lot of folks come up towards our house thinking they're headed towards Buckeye. So it's a little confusing, and I have people stop next, ask directions. So I think if we redo it and kind of make it really stand out which direction they want to go to. So I think that's a great project.
Okay.
And the other place they always get lost is at that intersection of Pinnacle and North Pinnacle, where they turn
Yes.
right.
Where they
Yes,
go right.
All the time. I mean, you don't know how many times I find somebody that's lost right there.
Yeah.
And that's true
Yeah,
with the
stopped in
Beach
the middle
Mountain
of the road.
Parkway.
So we may want to just consider both places.
Well, the only thing we have up there is, Emerald Outback access sign. There is
The
one
EMO
at
sign
that,
there.
yeah, at that intersection, but it's on the bottom of the deal, so maybe something bigger. Cause it's pretty
Something that's
easy for
usable.
somebody to go right instead of left
Yeah. We could
if they
even
don't see the sign.
update the signs and actually have, like the logo put on the sign. To me,
Yeah.
when I see the one next to Old Beach Mountain Parkway, it's a little confusing because there's Old Beach Mountain Parkway, then there's another road right to the
Yeah.
left of it, and then you've got the Pinnacle.
Okay, we'll work on that, and Rory will
Jason
have
Paradise.
book report at the next January meeting, okay? Okay, if there's nothing else, how about you two ladies?
We're
What?
fine. We're both in South Carolina. We're going to go enjoy the sunshine now.
Oh, yeah. We have sunshine.
Yeah, it's
We
Yeah,
have
it's beautiful
sunshine. It's
outside.
24 out there.
Okay, Gloria has one more item, please.
Oh, I wondered did we ever decide what we're doing about renting down there? Like
Oh.
the deposit thing and the undeposit thing and,
Yes, February, or actually, I'll probably have this like by January's meeting. Thanks for reminding me on that. I'm going to actually have facility rental rates and also a recommendation of membership increase rates, just for you guys to look at. We're, as we're just moving forward, we're seeing our expenses are going up. We're open
That's what you're
longer,
talking about.
everything, so we're looking at trying to offset just a little bit of this cost. And
Okay, so
we'll
at
have a
our,
sheet for you.
at our meeting on the 9th at 8:30 at Buckeye, we'll talk about that too. Okay. Folks, thanks a
And
lot.
this is Willie.
Ma'am?
This is Willie, so just a couple of things. I love the trail update. That is a brilliant idea. Whoever thought of it. I mean, I can see that. I'm in South Carolina, but I'll read it and see which trails, and I just think that was such a great idea. It's too bad we hadn't thought about that years ago. So I just wanted to recognize the staff, Park and Rec that came up with that and are keeping folks updated on the trails. So that's all I have.
I think it was Fred who came up with the idea. He just pushed me to do it.
We work together.
We
Okay.
do.
Okay, anything else?
That is like the most.
No, I'm good.
Well, you
Great
ladies
meeting.
go enjoy the sunshine. Thanks for tuning us in. And if I don't hear any other business that we need to discuss, do I hear a motion? Well, first of all, I want to thank Kelly for her services has it been a year?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
it's
And,
been my pleasure, and I really enjoyed working with everybody.
Thank you. I'm often told by others, of course, Rory and I talk about it sometimes, but we think, as far as getting things done and whatever, that all of us as a group do about as well as anybody within the town. So, we'd like to make sure that we keep that going with whoever else we
Yeah.
appoint in your direction to take your place. But thank each one of you for your efforts, time, and just the fact that these two ladies are down enjoying sunshine, but they take a moment out to be with us is real important. So I think that shows your interest in whatever and what we do, and we thank everybody. Okay, do I hear a motion?
Okay?
So moved.
Okay, Carol, second?
Good.
Okay,
Second here.
okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Bye.
Aye.
Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll look forward to see you on the